What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. Work has begun.
What's good, man? How y'all feeling?
Much.
I'm good, man. Like I had quite a bit of work throughout the week, so I'm glad. I just kind of powered through it. Got about 4 or 5 open projects. I had some decent progress for each of those. Like I said, throughout the week. So things start leveling off around like Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. Like I start to feel like accomplished because Wednesday is the hardest work day. That's like Wednesday work day for me. So I try to wrap up like all meetings, all hard deadlines, like the items that are on a deadline. I try to get those things done by Wednesday. So, and then I got house stuff, man. Like we got a small leak in the garage, and it's something I just noticed, and it's hooked up from the upstairs bathtub. So I think we have like an overflow. I don't know. I got to get a plumber out to just look at that. So dealing with house challenges. Oh snaps!
What the fuck was that, bro?
Dude, this was a cancel compass backtrack. Look, I just got this. I just got the Apple Watch a week and a half ago.
Still learning.
I'm still learning.
Rookie. Big
I am a rookie.
When you gonna hop on the bandwagon?
I'm not getting the Apple Watch. I'm getting the Whoop. That's what I'm getting. All right.
What?
It's a Whoop.
I heard of man, but like
What's the specialty?
challenges, bro. You need to get on these challenges.
Challenges, man. I don't care.
Hold yourself accountable, bro.
Hold yourself accountable. I have been like this last week. First competition, I lost to Dwayne. Second competition, I just won because I found this little hack. The last 3 hours, I literally worked out from 9 to 12. I didn't end it. I did not end
cheating,
it,
bro.
until like 11:59, and he had claimed victory at like 8:45. All right.
Yeah, nice.
And I was like, yeah. All I said was, he was like, valiant effort, LOL. And I was like, I was like, yeah, man, I went hard on this one, good one. But I was like, I'm in the fitness center, just like going hard. I'm about to go until I get these last 200 points, and I'm gonna cap off this 600 points. 11:59. I was like, yeah, valiant effort. Check that again. It was over. It's nothing you can do about it. I ended up winning by 3 points.
Clutch.
Yeah. So look, this is making me really over serious. I don't know, I may be going too far, but I've been working out every single day for the past 2 weeks.
Closing rings,
dog.
Closing rings every day, bro. Depending on what your goals are, though, man. You gotta set some respectable goals.
What's respectable?
1,000 calories a day.
Man, the whole calorie thing. I don't think I can afford to lose that many calories. Yeah. I'm trying to actually get more calories. So a lot of it is strength training. It's less like somebody like Dwayne. He's doing bicycle, all the movement work and stuff. And
I was in a challenge with Dwayne too, and it was too late, so I realized that his goals were set differently than mine. So if you do a challenge with somebody, you gotta make sure y'all have the same goals.
Yeah.
Because I was doing 1,000 calories a day. This man hitting 800 calories a day.
But he's doubling it too, because he's a straight treadmill.
But what I'm saying is, when you double it and then you keep going, it gives you more points on the challenge.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
You could double your 800 goal and get 200 extra points, whereas I would have to double 1,000 calorie goal.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So it gives you additional points, and you just gotta make sure your stand goal, 12 or 14 hours, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And the amount of workout time, so 60 minutes.
Gotcha.
But it's just the goals, man. I don't know how you're gonna do with this Whoop.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website now. It looks pretty dope.
Well, it's cool. I really just want to I feel like I heard that that's very effective in measuring sleep and performance and letting you know when your body is actually strained and ready to actually work out for the next day. So with me, and then a lot of athletes endorse this. So that's just the sell for me. So I'm gonna get it eventually.
It's just the current.
I think it is the only con. It is membership based, so I think you got to pay monthly, if I'm not mistaken.
The app looks a little bit more
you're pretty
extensive.
much paying for all of that data. And I don't know how much data the Apple Watch gives you, but I heard it gives you like more in depth. Or
It
I heard the
looks-
Whoop gives you more in depth data.
Their interface looks like it gives more data, or maybe presents it in a different way. Like I see blood oxygen, respiratory rate. I mean, I know we got all of those. Skin temperature from baseline. I don't even know what HRV is. RHR. Interesting.
If you plan to actually make that data actionable and
Right.
make decisions or something off of it, then 100%. You know what I mean? But like, do you really need the super in-depth assessment of every little part of your body, I guess?
I think for
Do you
athletes,
think it can really,
maybe. Like they got
I mean,
PGA
I-
Tour winners,
with
Olympic
me-
medalists.
With me playing basketball as much as I do, I feel like in my mind already, I try to analyze like why my body is feeling that way or why I didn't perform this day. Could it be sleep? Could it be strain? Could it be, what I ate or whatever? I feel like the Whoop will give me those answers.
I feel like the
So,
Whoop would do it.
I feel like the Whoop
Man,
would
it's,
do it. And it's a cool name,
And
bro.
you would wear this like in your sleep.
Whoop, bro. Yeah.
Oh,
But it's
I'm
not
not
it's
saying-
not as
I'm
bulky.
not-
It's just like a little band. It's not as bulky. Well, that's not really bulky. But
No,
like,
that's like a strip.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's smaller than that, so it wouldn't conflict with my sleep.
And I just feel weird, just like something tracking my sleep on my wrist. I don't know.
You
Like
take
that's
that
when
off?
I
You
turn
take
it
it
off.
off to sleep?
Yeah, I definitely turn it off
Yeah,
before I
keep
go to
it on.
sleep.
I be hitting my sleep goal.
Like my sleep goal is just get up on my alarm. That's my sleep goal. So and lately I don't know if it's the
See, maybe your
the day
workouts would be
change.
better if you prioritize sleep a little more.
I do prioritize sleep. I just don't allow the watch to prioritize it for me. But I think I prioritize sleep very well. I've been hitting about 5.5, 6 hours of sleep like for the
Nah,
past
it's
2
not-
not good at all.
It
Not
is.
playing.
It actually
Depends
is
on-
good for
All right,
my
hey,
for my energy levels right now, and the shift in daylight savings. For some reason, I've been going to sleep around. I start shutting down like 9 o'clock, chilling with the fam. 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm probably in the bed, and then once like maybe 2.5 weeks ago, I started to transition into waking up at 4:30. My body, I would like stay there in the bed, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going back to sleep. I think this is all my body actually like needs. 4:45, 5 o'clock, I'm up, doing my little meditation, my morning routine, and then I'll start getting my ideas out. Now this is before the kids wake up, because once 7:30 hits, everybody's up and going. So that literally gives me about 2.5 hours of self time, and I need that.
I'm with you on that. Like when I was a little younger, like early 20s, I wouldn't need as much sleep as I need now.
Early 20s. How old are you right now?
27, bro. What you want me to say?
Like back in my day.
What you want me to say? When I was like 20, 21, I could function very well off of like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. But I think I was getting like just uninterrupted sleep. I think that's why I was able to function.
Yeah.
Like now, getting a little older, like I may need like 7.5. But sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and that'll kill everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not like too big of a sleeper, to be quite honest. Like I'll get my hours. I don't have no issues. Like I don't like have sleepless nights or nothing like that.
Right,
but
right.
if I don't go to sleep at 11:30 or after, I'm up super early.
Yeah.
My body only wants to sleep for like 4 hours, to be
Right,
honest.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
It literally only wants to stay there, and I wake up and I'll be wide awake. Like it's no like ramp period. You know how like sometimes
Yeah, it
you know
takes
that
a
feeling
minute,
where it's
so.
like you wake up and it takes a minute to get going. Like wake up and my eyes are wide awake. I feel like I'm automatically at 100%.
that happens to me a lot. Too.
I don't know if like my mind is just working, like
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah.
like right before I wake up, and it's like super stimulated, and then I wake up just automatically ready to go
Yeah.
because I'm never tired. Like,
Do you feel like
it's hard to fall
is
back to
recover?
sleep,
Like
you
sleep
know?
is recovery for you?
Yeah. I couldn't say anything otherwise.
Yeah. I
it's-
take I take every once in a while, maybe not once in a while, like 2 or 3 days. I've been taking magnesium. Once I hit like 33, 34, I feel like the benefits of deep sleep for a good 4 or 5 hours is like all I need. And then I wake up with that type of, okay, I'm on. There is no point in me just laying here. I can just go. It was a little bit challenging throughout the winter, and I'll wrap this up because we just talking about sleep and shit. I really I really felt that shift like 2 weeks ago. And throughout the winter, my intention was I want to get up at 5 o'clock, but dude, I could not. Like it would be like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and it's just I don't know, something just happened. Maybe it's the season change or whatever. So there's that. I mean, there's science for that, but
fuck daylight savings.
Bro, I actually don't mind it. I feel really energized now. Like
Me too.
way more energized.
I like the extra hour of sun when I want it. You know what I mean? Gives you an extra hour to like feel like you got, some day left without night coming and you're like, oh, I gotta go to sleep soon.
Yeah.
But like daylight savings, I just don't. It shouldn't be anything.
Oh, the concept, like they should.
The concept is just like why do we have to reset our internal clocks? Like,
and that's not every I think Arizona is. Arizona is.
It's Arizona. There's a couple other places that don't abide by daylight savings.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think Arizona's one.
I think like getting dark is like 6 o'clock. Like this, I don't know why the last stretch throughout the winter, it was like pretty hard. Like 6 o'clock is dark. I don't know why it felt different than any other year. Or maybe I was a little bit more conscious of it, but I don't know. The way the transition was kind of hit me a little differently. All right, look, I want to get straight into a conversation that was sparked from a story I shared on Instagram. Usually I only share, when I get free time and I'm on the toilet or something like that, and I'm taking a break from the kids, and I'll go share crazy. Mm-hmm. So I saw this post by a guy named, I think it's Corey Mascara. This is the first time I've seen the post. I don't follow him or anything. It just like showed up. It says, if you want to build a great life, slow down. Anyone can caffeinate and push hard toward their next goal, but it's not sustainable. Long-term energy comes from alignment, and alignment requires feeling the subtle difference between energy created from anxiety and energy created from inspiration. And then, I added the light bulb because I thought that was an insightful message, right? Sean, you responded, and if you don't mind, I'll just read what you responded. And you can, you said, look, anxiety is not the issue. Anxiety is normal. Base word is anxious, which is a good thing. Anxious about performing well. As a society, we've literally redefined words like anxiety, ego, shame, and there's plenty others, right? You say redefined to only mean something negative. When we know that you literally need ego and anxiousness to be effective in some situations, you need anxiety to understand the importance of the task at hand. So we've reconstructed the paradigm around these words to only mean something that leads. Paradigm. Oh my God, I'm actually like reading. I said paradigm. I gotta eat that.
Yeah.
We've reconstructed the paradigm around these words to only mean something that leads to an incorrect application of those words. So anxiety at its core can be good. It can lead to one understanding the true focus. It's needed to inspire the right amount of drive. So explain.
Yeah. I think we've witnessed like the transition of like certain definitions of words that we've used, since we were younger, or concepts that have been out there for so long. And I think like the current view of anxiety right now, like the idea of anxiety is 100% negative. Like nobody, or everybody rather, would cite something negative when they're like, oh, I have anxiety, and look at it as some kind of negative viewpoint, when like all of these emotions that come about are just natural human feelings, in my opinion. And there's a way, I think, to positively frame most things. So for anxiety, it's like right before something big is about to happen, right before you're about to accomplish something, or you're waiting for your birthday event or whatever it is, like whatever you could be anticipating, there's an aspect of anxiousness that's there, and it lets you know that you actually value what's about to happen. Like you actually are looking forward to this. You put again, a high value to whatever it is that you're anxious about. And I don't think that's a problem. Like, I don't think being anxious about something is a problem. Like, right. It's just, it lets you know it may let you know how seriously you're taking whatever that is.
Right.
in my opinion.
And I think
and of course there's a negative side to it where, you know, people get too engulfed in the anxiety and they let it take over, and that's all they could think about is, oh my god, like, you know.
And that's like more this
I don't know what to do with
nervous
myself.
energy, and that's kind of based that side is like you're based on maybe a certain amount of fear. You're dealing with a doubt about accomplishing something. Like when I think about anxiety, I'll cite like you know, playing basketball, grade school, middle school, you know, high school, whatever, those days. Right before games, I would just get a sense of like, oh shit, like I don't know, I can't even. It's like I'm not scared, but I feel this burning sensation, like kind of in my chest, and you know, heart beating fast. You know, as I've gotten older, I understand how to breathe through those moments, and really walk up to those moments. Whereas when I was a kid, it's like, man, I got a decision. Either like, I don't know, this is kind of slowing me down. This is a feeling that's actually holding me back, almost to the point of like cowering. You know, I mean, I remember at times where I felt, you know, what can be described as timid. I would still go out there, but I wonder like if that slowed me down. I know there were times where it did slow me down, and I didn't really capitalize on the moment, or seize the opportunity like I should have. And I think that's harder in the case of when we talk about anxiety from a perspective of, like, I see it in you know, in my kids as they grow older. I think you like you said, this is a natural thing, right? Yeah. Whereas it's not really tied to any expectation. It's literally more. It almost seems a little inherent. You think about a baby or toddlers, like in scenarios that they've never been in, and it's just it's a sensual, like it's over sensual, to where they can't take the sounds around them. You know, it's like too much. Things are too loud. You know, imagine a baby or a child the first time going out, you know, for a walk on a busy street. You know, now you have curiosity, but you have like, man, what is this? This is, for some kids, that is too much. You know, now that has nothing to do with expectations. That's just, I'm in a scenario that's unfamiliar, and you know, there's a unknowing about what's going on. You know, and it's making me excited, and I don't even understand the excitement. I don't understand that feeling, or I don't even match that or map that to positivity. You know what I'm saying?
It's just seeing, you know, for me, it's seeing like the opportunity in whatever ambiguous or thing that's to come, I guess. I was trying to refer to what you, a little bit of what you mentioned, but like, I feel like now, you know, anxiety, the idea of it is like it's a blanketed statement where we're like, oh, everybody has anxiety, everybody this and that, when it's just like, yeah, everybody has anxiety, but not everybody succumbs to it, or not everybody would, you know, concede to the anxiety and just like, you know, become small or whatever, like your reaction to it is.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that reaction, but I think we've as a society, I think we've put too much of a focus on any level of anxiety being seen as super huge. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, professors can't even call on a student in class anymore, ask them a question, because that kid will feel singled out.
Right,
or
right.
If they'll feel like,
so
you know,
I feel like you're in relation to, okay, there's a spotlight around anxiety throughout society today's, you know, this way of things. That is a fact, right? You hear the word more, and this is when we get into, you know, therapy. That big topic or whatever is really driven around some level of anxiety. I think there is a difference And going back to the statement, it says, an alignment requires feeling the subtle difference between energy created from anxiety and energy created from inspiration. Like, this statement is speaking about what is sustainable, right? Like, the goals that I have in mind, I'm thinking like long-term goals. I'm not thinking of, I need to make this, I need to make these numbers, I need to hit these numbers for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I have a big goal in mind and I need to maybe do a little at a time to get to that point, and that requires a level of inspiration. And the energy that comes from inspiration is more positive, is generated from hope, optimism, desire. Whereas energy, the way he's saying it, energy created from anxiety is more so related to doubt in myself, my lack of confidence in this circumstance, the environmental things around me that could potentially hold me back or stop me. It's like natural thought toward the things that could maybe slow me down versus what I am inspired by and hopeful for and optimistic about.
And I agree with. I like the statement itself, like, being able to discern between the energy that's driven by anxiety or the energy driven by inspiration. My like, when I think about the differences between those, I'm like, anxiety is something that you create. Regardless of how real it is, right? It can be 100% real, because I know that, there are people that deal with anxiety, and I respect their struggle, and I understand that that's there. But at the end of the day, it is something that you create within yourself. Like, you kind of put that anxiety on yourself, and it may, you may mask it by saying, that causes me to be anxious, or that gives me anxiety. But like, anxiety is not something that you can just grab and like, have. Like, it's something that comes internal.
It's it seems like more of a response.
And conversely to inspiration, I think inspiration can only happen like externally. Like, you see something and you're inspired by it. You can be internally motivated, right? You can have your own level of motivation. I think that's internal. But inspiration comes externally. And
anxiety does what? Can anxiety?
Well, I think it can trigger something within you, like an external event can trigger something within you that causes you to be anxious.
Question.
That isn't like, but that event is not anxiety. Like,
the response creates anxiety. The response creates inspiration. Does that make sense? Where being inspired and being anxious is a response of a state.
But I would rather say, if we're talking about accomplishing something, I think that the energy built from anxiety is like, I kind of think of it as the grind.
Right. Good point.
I think of it as like, these are things you have to do. Either you don't want to, or what. It doesn't matter if you want to do them or not. Like in some situations, like, even those everyday things can like, build up and cause anxiety, but it's like, yeah, your response to it is the important part. But I think that the anxiety or the energy from anxiety could sometimes be a stronger driving force.
Right.
The energy driven from inspiration.
Almost like a necessary driving force to get you over that hump.
Yeah,
it's like, it's no doubt anxiety. You're saying anxiety is a natural thing.
Yeah, it's just a natural thing.
Period.
We look at it as if it's like we're not supposed to have it at all. Like,
right. So how are you going to respond? And doesn't mean, and in the context of the examples that you're bringing up, for example, the student who was like, like you just singled me out. You made me feel some kind of way. Like, I'm about to post about this and get you fired type shit.
Right,
or I'm about to call you out. Like,
you didn't know the answer. Like, like, just, I don't know. But I do feel like, something can happen. And the anxiety is like, you create the anxiety. Now, that could be on a small level or a large level. And again, I'm not like, you have to give respect to the percentage of people that like actually have like some kind of, true
real issue,
like real issue with anxiety. Like, so, I kind of put those to the side, right? That 10% of like 100% true cases. And then we talk about the majority. And I feel like there is a vast majority of individuals that, may I don't want to say over exaggerate because it's not like it's an insensitive word, I think.
Yeah.
But for lack of a better
anxiety.
word right now, for lack of a better word right now, I do feel like, a lot of people do over exaggerate or blow up their anxiety to the point where, like, it doesn't need to be like the anxiety. Like, I don't want to say this isn't a big deal, but like some things just aren't a big deal.
Is that more so like some people can't take criticism?
Oh yeah, there's a lot in that. I mean, you can't criticize anything these days without, somebody flipping it and saying, "Oh, you're a hater, or you hate this, or you're a bigot, or you're a racist, or you're whatever."
Yeah.
And it's like you can't really have an opinion for real. Like, you have to be mindful of everybody else's, like, what they're gonna think and how you're gonna be portrayed if you say, something, which can cause anxiety in and of itself. But I mean, it depends on how much you care of what others think.
Right.
I guess, with that.
Cameron, how do you deal with anxiety?
I mean, I kind of agree with Sean. Like, anytime I felt anxious, I just accepted that is the feeling. And then I know that I'm not about to give into this. Like, I'm about to just push past that wall. Whether it be before a game that I'm coaching or playing in, a test. I'm like, bro, the test is here, the game is here. I just got to do that shit. So, like, it's that simple to me. I just got to do it.
Because, like, what's the alternative? Like, you get anxious, you succumb to the anxiety. I mean, the task at hand is still the task at hand.
You still have to do it, bro.
Whatever that task is. I mean, there are some situations where it's like, just walk out, just walk away. And, like, it seems to be a lot of support for just giving up as opposed to fighting through the real challenge. And the real challenge is not, dealing with your anxiety. You have anxiety. How do you get rid of that? No, the real problem is, or the real challenge is understanding that anxiety is going to happen. How do you manage through to still be effective with whatever you're doing?
Got you.
I never really got affected by, like, anxiety, to be honest.
I mean, you've definitely, I feel like,
well, I guess affected in
times,
a negative way. Like, yeah. I feel like
everybody's had times where it's like, like, you almost have a panic attack. You know what I mean? Like, you can see.
I don't think I've ever came close to, honestly, I don't think I've ever came close to that.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah. Like, I understand that breathing helps in the moment, so I've always, like, followed that.
That's what I mean, right? Like, when you feel like, all right, shit, I need to breathe. Like, or,
I never have the thought, like, I gotta breathe. Like,
yeah.
It just comes naturally. It probably sounds crazy, but it just comes naturally to me. Like,
yeah,
I got into yoga real early in life, so, like, maybe that helped, like, and understanding breath and stuff. But whenever I felt anxious, like I said, whether it be like an interview or something, I always understand that the task needs to be completed.
Yeah,
and it doesn't. It's not gonna get completed if I just sit here and tense up and be scared. So I'm like, fuck this. I know who I am. I know what I have to do. So I'm gonna just try to do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah, and I mean that's a skill, man. Like, being able to, kind of piece through, or you kind of manage through that with a positive mindset, or with a forward moving mindset, because I think that's where the issue is, that everybody's, a lot of people's response to the anxiety. Not necessarily, like, the anxiety is not really a problem itself.
Yeah, it is just a response.
Until someone responds in a way that would cause more anxiety, potentially.
Yeah, around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you really just have to work on how you respond to those, moments that make you feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, like, mentioned a couple other topics, just like words that I think have changed definitions over the time, or like
ego. Yeah.
Ego is, I mean, look.
I'll say this, man, about ego. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like it needs to be said. There was this period of time where it was the thing to say, let's kill the ego.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like that's to the extreme. I'm more in the mindset where the ego is here. It is a necessary thing, but I'm not allowing the ego to drive every decision I make. But I can consult at this particular time. You talk about knowing yourself. I can consult with my ego. I can just, the ego is right here next to me. I can tame this thing in a way where, not that I'm nullifying it, but it's in a cage and I can bring it out anytime I want. So that's like my spirit animal. This is my tiger, so to speak, or whatever. Or this is my Gohan. This is my Super Saiyan 2 mode or whatever. It has its face. It has a character. It has legs. This is a thing for me, and I animate it. I have fun with it. I am not in the mindset where I'm gonna just kill my ego completely. And if I know that's in people's philosophy, but it just doesn't sit right with me completely. I need to resort to that because I may be in a scenario or an environment where that is necessary to survive.
Yeah, and I do so. Similarly to how I feel about anxiety, with like the definition changing and people kind of not understanding, in my opinion, that it's natural. Like the ego is fucking natural. Like it is specifically natural. If you ever read, I thought when I first read the book Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies, seventh grade.
Yeah, back in the day, and got introduced to the ego, but it was packaged as there are three types, right? You got the id, you got the ego, and the super ego. Yeah, right. And the id is like the immature stage. Ego is kind of perfectly centered right in the middle, and then super ego. Honestly, what everybody I think dislikes about ego really is the super ego, and which is the more extreme version of just narcissism and things of that nature.
Yeah.
The ego, though, is perfectly centered in the middle. If you can manage that effectively, there is nothing wrong with the ego. But we have packaged it in the society to make ego synonymous with negativity.
And toxicity.
And
the
toxicity,
big
right?
word, right? Which is only for some reason at this particular time geared towards masculinity.
I mean, and that's really crazy because I think like the male ego definitely needed to be humbled. Like if we talk about like
no doubt about it,
the historic male ego, in the last 30 to 40 years, definitely needed to be humbled. Like,
now, at what point do we center the conversation around the female ego as it relates to intuition?
I've always thought that, yes. So I've always thought that like what we call the women's intuition is simply just the female ego.
Right.
Because
right.
like what does a male
not all of it, but maybe so.
Right. I mean there are elements that I really respect with like a woman's ability to have that I don't have, right? But it's like when you get too wrapped up into it, when women just kind of somehow feel like they're right 100% of the time and there's no other option, it's like, yo, what are we talking about here? Like you literally made something up in your mind and you believe it 100% of the way and won't take any type of like consideration for another thought process. Isn't that the ego? Isn't that what we talk about the male ego is? Like you just believe yourself 100% of the way. Nobody can tell you different.
Exactly.
And this happened regardless. Okay?
I think that's a conversation that's a topic that's worth a great study. And I am curious when the conversation will sort of shift from a societal view, because that in this time where like you said, the male ego definitely needed to be humbled. Are we at a point where it's being humbled? And when I see the consequence, like how do you measure consequence to say, okay, this is what you deserve for you doing all the things that you've done, and this particular time. And I'm using the instance, and this is I'm kind of walking on eggshells. Let's use R. Kelly for an example.
Oh,
it's a tough conversation.
Just gave that man 20 extra years.
You know what I'm saying? I am not like sitting here going to be God and say he deserved or didn't deserve. But his behavior in this particular time and day creates a consequence that almost can be deemed as maybe that's excessive. Somebody like Hugh Hefner just got off and just died. He got old and then just died,
perfect,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Escape.
Perfect timing.
Perfect escape.
Yeah.
I think when you
It's just really hard to argue.
It is. I'm not
tough.
arguing.
It's
I am
tough.
Not to say you're
I'm
arguing,
not
but
even arguing.
It's a hard conversation to have because it's like he did some fucked up shit.
But the thing is, it was known. So it was known that he was doing this for like since the 90s.
Was it proven though?
Look, nobody went after it like that. Like nobody like built. Was there? And I guess I would have to look more into the history of it. Like, did he ever like go to trial before?
Yeah, he went to trial for the tape and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm not here to talk about discuss. Right. I just use that as an example of the consequence related to male ego being humbled in today's society.
Yeah, basically, if he were to go on trial for the same crime 20 years ago, he would not have gotten 30 years in prison. Is what you're saying.
Right, more than
he would have gotten less. He would have got a lesser sentence.
So I mean, people who could commit.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to even measure crimes. So
what's retributive justice? It's like the punishment that you receive is equal to the crime that you committed. We know that doesn't happen.
Right. Historically.
But it does seem to happen.
But the fact that he's been doing this since, like y'all said, since the 90s, the sentence doesn't it make sense?
Yeah, and I think that's even what the judge said.
I don't know.
You've been doing this for 30, 40 years, so you're about to get 40 years. And in that sense, when it's relayed like that, I'm like,
but that don't happen in a lot of other situations. And I got to look up probably some other situations where. Like they don't take you've been doing this for 30 years. Okay, we're gonna.
My point is,
as we speak, so that plays a part.
Yeah.
As well.
As we speak about the female side of that, let's do a flip side of that, right?
The female side of R. Kelly?
No. I'm pretty sure they're out there. Anyway, as it relates to the consequence of how we need to humble, when will the female ego need to be humbled? And how do we measure the consequence? That has yet to be seen.
I don't know
curious.
if that'll ever be.
There won't be a consequence to it. Because we're just talking. What I think I'm talking about is like, the female ego is just a thought process, right? And it wouldn't be like there's no crime committed there, but it's like.
But that thought process can really create manipulation of a scenario.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say something.
And it can shift. It can shift a whole public opinion very easy.
Well, that is the interesting part.
When you look at emotional reaction
and selective outrage.
Chris
Rock over there.
Which we can touch on. So that look, I kind of want to stop the conversation there because it can get pretty ugly. I feel like we need to have a focused conversation.
Look, I think you have situations where it's like, all right, this guy needs to get like punished regardless, like whatever it is, he needs to be stopped in a sense. But there's a lot of people involved in that facilitated and kind of helped that operation continue.
Yeah,
and it didn't seem like there was ever.
Are you talking about R. Kelly? We still talking about R. Kelly?
Yeah, we were. It didn't seem like there was ever. I'm not defending that guy at all, but I'm just saying it didn't seem like. Was there anybody else involved here? He was doing it all himself?
Well, they said conspiracy, so that means conspiracy points to an entire organization complicit, and nobody else in this conspiracy, according to law, nobody else was arrested, but they should have been arrested, tried, and some
capacity, like some capacity.
If by law standards there is a conspiracy, point in taking the whole Young Thug operation, like. You've seen a bunch of people in that scenario because that's what happens in a conspiracy.
I got the RICO charge.
So that didn't happen with R. Kelly. Again, I don't want to be Corey Holcomb. I like you, Corey Holcomb, but like we're not taking the same approach as Corey Holcomb in this matter as it relates to R. Kelly. So I kind of want to stop this conversation about R. Kelly.
Hey man, fuck it. I got 50 years. So
he is gone, bro.
But no, I mean. Those elements of like selective outrage will get into other topics, industries. I think we're somewhat aware of what it is. But I mean, speaking of it, did have that Chris Rock stand up called Selective Outrage.
Yeah, we could definitely flip the script on the
I didn't
Selective
watch it.
Outrage. You didn't watch it. Do you even like Chris Rock?
I didn't see all of it.
Chris Rock?
I didn't watch
All right,
it.
look, I haven't seen like a lot of Chris Rock stand up. I've actually never watched the full stand up of Chris Rock, but I just never thought he was funny in like movies and stuff like that. So I thought his stand up wouldn't be that funny.
Wow.
And maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's the wrong thing. But I don't care.
So
bro.
I know you love Chris Rock.
I'm at a certain age. I feel like we was talking about it earlier. The old shit from Eddie Murphy, like Raw and all, I don't think that's funny. But that just comes with the time. Like I'm a certain age to where I've seen a lot of other material, and that shit just don't make me laugh. So I feel like Chris Rock is a lesser comedian than Eddie Murphy. That may sound fucked up.
No,
but
I agree.
That don't sound fucked up. Eddie Murphy is
So-
the god of comedy.
if I don't view Eddie Murphy as that funny, I feel like Chris Rock ain't gonna be that funny either.
Here's the thing.
He is saying some crazy shit actually, and
That's
I'm
wild.
sorry, Sean.
But
Bro, you just said Eddie Murphy is not that funny.
No, I said if I don't view him as that funny, like he's funny, obviously, but if I don't view him as just like
Who the fuck is funny to you?
Dave Chappelle's the GOAT, man, he's funny.
All right, I take that. Dave Chappelle's the GOAT.
Here's the
Bernie
thing.
Mac is funnier than Eddie Murphy.
You have comedians that like
From
literally
a stand up perspective.
All right, I mean Eddie only have like two stand-ups
It don't matter.
in the 80s,
It don't
and it
That's
does matter.
That's why that
because-
shit not that funny to me.
the reason is the reason why you may say, well, the reason I believe you may say it's not as funny to you, is because most comedians that came after Eddie, like you've seen his material
Yeah,
done
the
in so many
inspiration, for
different
sure,
ways.
for sure.
Like you've seen the inspiration, you've seen the type of delivery, you've seen like he was a blueprint for a lot of comedians.
Well, Richard Pryor's the blueprint.
Well, yeah,
Eddie
we got
Murphy was-
that for sure.
yeah.
But the fact that like if I woke up today or if I was born today and I see like somebody like LeBron James like doing all of this stuff or like seeing all of the amazing feats that people can achieve now and then I start there and then I go back 30, 40 years and then I look at the accomplishments that people achieved then.
Mm-hmm.
It in certain areas it's like I'm automatically more wild
And LeBron is the standard. He becomes the
by
standard.
this modern shit because it literally but the modern shit would not have happened. It would not have been like a sequence if it wasn't built on that. I'm not saying you should laugh at Eddie Murphy.
No,
because
no,
of that.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
What you're saying is facts, but if I watch it and I don't laugh,
yeah, no, I get it.
I can't help when I was born.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like I
But
know.
what you're saying is facts, though.
But it's the context because like this shit was.
I
like,
understand the
it was the
inspiration.
funniest shit around when Eddie first popped out with like Delirious and Raw with those stand-ups. Like the reason they're so legendary is because of the impact they had when they first came out. And
Impact and topically, nobody was like even speaking like that. Like he was just this is the way he cursed. Like it wasn't.
in a way, I mean, it was a couple. You had like Red Fox, of course, Richard Pryor, a few other people, but yeah, nobody. Eddie was like. It was like the superstar. Like when we talk about
first
the first
superstar of
first
comedy.
black superstar, like
First superstar of comedy. Easy.
of comedy.
He
but-
is the Michael Jordan of comedy. In my opinion, that's the Michael Jordan of comedy right there. And they came in around the same exact time.
Michael Jordan of comedy is interesting.
That is interesting.
I may say if I'm doing this, I'd make Richard Pryor Mike, I make Eddie Murphy Kobe, and I make Dave Chappelle LeBron.
Nah, man, that's like I love this conversation because like these analogies sometimes be blowing my mind, and I have to relate to the exact time of day, right? So Eddie Murphy is synonymous with the era of like if we're related to basketball,
Yeah,
Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. They came out the same exact time, and their impact meant I'm bringing money into this industry. I'm blowing the lid off, and I'm creating way more opportunity. Like I am that person that shifts the culture.
Yeah.
And the timing like in the timing sense, that was Michael Jordan, Eddie Murphy. Their impact is and then Richard. You said Richard Pryor. I would look at Richard Pryor like the GOATs. Like Michael Jordan's GOAT was Julius Erving. Like those kind of guys.
But I think Richard Pryor actually like Pusha T said this in a line. He said Richard Pryor's flame gave birth to pipe dreams. And
no doubt about it.
it's like with him being that first person to
It's an
blow
amazing
up
line.
like he did.
Blew up like for real. He
Yeah.
set himself on fire.
That also, but like him having being that first kind of depiction of kind of black man doing whatever the hell he wanted to do, like in that world, I thought was just as, like had a similar impact to Michael Jordan opening up the NBA to like all different, like to kind of taking it to an international stage and taking it to the next level. And the reason I would say I put Eddie Murphy as the Kobe is because like he pretty much mirrored everything Richard Pryor was doing at first, and then stepped out into his own. So they have that similarity, have that bond, and we see how close Kobe was to Jordan.
I think that could be said about Chris Rock is more Kobe.
I have to say hell no on that.
Y'all have y'all not seen Bigger and Blacker and Never Scared? Have y'all not seen these early stand-ups?
I have seen nothing.
We're talking about pure look.
I have seen nothing. you just how could you have, dude? Some of the man, you are shitting on Chris Rock, and I
understand. I probably gotta watch it, but
I just like him.
Hey, shout out to Mel. Mel, I had the same cause we grew up in the same household, and we wasn't really watching a lot of Chris Rock. I watched Chris Rock on the movies, you know what I'm saying? And he was funny to me as even Pookie. And I didn't even know that was it wasn't a comedy, but it was funny. Okay, because I remember seeing him on, some of the, like he would show up in the Eddie Murphy movie or, early Wayans films. But I didn't appreciate his comedy until I got to college. And my homeboy Mel, shout out to Mel, we sat down and we, I showed him the Eddie ones because he was like, yeah, Eddie's cool, he's funny. But like his guy was Chris Rock, and I wasn't. I was like, Chris Rock is cool, but whatever. I sat down and watched it, dude. Hysterical. I put him up there top 5. My personal 5 is Richard. Actually, it's Eddie. I'm gonna just be honest. I love Richard Pryor because we were raised on Richard Pryor, and we came from the same place. We're from Peoria, Illinois. Like that's Richard Pryor's birthplace. We have family ties there. So I'm enriched with everything Richard Pryor. But as a kid, growing up, Eddie Murphy could do no wrong. He was the funniest dude of all time and will always be, in my opinion. And then Dave Chappelle for me. Those are my top 3.
The way you describe Eddie Murphy is how I feel about Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like I grew up with Dave Chappelle. The Chappelle Show, all his movies, like Half Baked, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I fuck with all that shit.
Yeah, I go with Dave Chappelle and
his stand-up.
It's hard. I would group the Wayans all in one. I feel like I need to group them all in one category, but they are different. Because Damon is the funniest. It's probably the funniest one, but
it's hard to say any individual Wayans is the funniest. And plus, it's hard. Them individually, it's hard to see them stand up against somebody like that.
Yeah.
So you got to make them collectively because they all have their own style of comedy.
Yeah.
They all were funny, but it just seemed like they.
But you never saw a Damon Wayans special though,
huh?
Have you ever seen a Damon Wayans special?
I've seen that
I think
dude
was
he did Def Jam.
That dude was
Jam.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I like the concepts a little bit more. Back to Chris Rock though, I like him. I think there's nothing that has made me gut punching laugh. He's never made me die laughing. Now I did love Everybody Hates Chris. That was my shit. Everybody Hates Chris was a pretty genius show. Yeah. But I like all styles of comedy. I feel like he has a more political style of comedy. Yeah, which it's not really about punchlines.
Yeah,
it's for him, which his style of comedy is solid to me. I can't say anything about it, but I didn't love the stand up.
Selective Outrage.
Yeah.
So going back to that, I just thought it was first of all, it was live, so this is unrehearsed, right? So if he messes up, which he did, it's all live, and I respect his approach to the craft. And I feel like he's already, it's Chris Rock, so he already has a seat at the table when we talk about the world and culture of comedy, right? He's in high regard. Yeah. So this special, I enjoyed watching it, but there was nothing that even the Will Smith rant, I just felt like it was a way for him to get shit off of his chest. and mix maybe some pre-material that he was working on in the mix.
People were saying that he like went too far. It was like.
Definitely don't think he went too far. I mean,
still heard about that,
bro. Yeah, I got
slapped in front of
slapped
everybody.
in everybody. Like this is a monumental moment. It'd be remember forever.
It's like, bro, why would I not talk about that? I don't care if it's been a year. Fuck Will Smith. No.
I actually liked Marlon's for the first time. I like Marlon's stand up more than
that shit was funny, bro. That shit was really funny.
It was good. I actually like. That's the first stand up I've ever seen from like Marlon Wayans.
He's got a couple other ones, man. And
I heard they weren't all that though.
Nah,
like him as a stand-up comedian is not like.
I think he explains it too. Like when he's gone on the whole press tour, speaking about his approach to this one versus the other ones, and I feel like he knows himself. Like he has found.
Yeah, felt like that.
He's found. It's taken him like 50 years, but like he's found himself, and that showed so well in this stand-up, which like I appreciate it because you got. It wasn't just, his slapstick, going ham with the body movements and just, being outrageous. He did have moments, but I felt like he had a balance in this one. So this is the most balanced I've seen him, the most mature. He brought in every aspect that I would
real
kind
vulnerable.
of
He got
vulnerability.
I like the way he tied everything in. Yeah. I know people were kind of
clever.
Like you're building your material off of the Will Smith slap and shit like that, but I thought it was cool.
He had an interesting take on it.
If he wouldn't have tied everything together the way he did, I would be more so on the side of those people who say that. But the fact that it was tied in so well, like I enjoyed it.
With the real story, like his whole story about, like I saw when you talk about vulnerability, I can actually see that now. I can understand that because they came up at the same time.
Yeah, and that was kind of I didn't know that they had that little
but it makes sense. They're from the same area.
They're in the same movies. Like they're two.
Which Wayansy? That was so funny, dude. That was hilarious, man. Like I can see that happening. So he painted that story well, and that made me look forward to what he has to offer in the comedy world. Definitely moving forward. But I thought it was it was funnier than Selective Outrage.
And I mean, no, it was a comeback one for me because like I saw Wokish. He had a stand up called Wokish. It just wasn't funny, man. He has this. I think he has this like habit of taking one topic and making the whole special about it.
Yeah.
Which worked in this case with the with his most recent stand up where he was talking about the slapping. I think he packaged it really well. Again, brought it full circle really well. But there was one stand up. I think it was another one where. He was talking about Audi belly buttons.
What?
And that sounds funny. But like this man was going on. He was like, it's like it seemed like the joke didn't hit the first time, right?
Yeah. He kept trying.
And he just like kept trying to extend this joke out about Audi belly buttons, bro, for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was
that don't even sound like a cool topic.
No, it was not.
I mean, the first time I saw an Audi belly button, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
I mean, it's a thing, right?
So, I mean, I can see it being a funny concept, But
like, it just
shout out to the people who got Audi belly buttons.
Shout out to the Audis. Audis.
Culture of Audis. Don't get anxious about what we just said.
I know, man. Everybody's got a stance now where apparently we hate people with
about the
Audi belly buttons.
It's about to be an Audi movement just because you brought that up.
Audis. They're sponsored by Audi.
Funniest Wayans. Let's end this. The funniest Wayans.
Shit. It's either Damon or Marlon for me.
Yeah, but we see more of them too, though, right? Like on screen.
Yeah, Damon is My Wife and Kids, right?
My Wife and Kids are pretty funny.
Keenan was,
But Damon's more money, major pain.
Yeah, like, more money, major pain, like. Bro, and My Wife and Kids.
Handyman, bro. If Handyman came.
Damon might be the funniest.
But all the In Living Color, like, sketches.
No, Blank Man.
Blank, who was Handyman? I think is there a Handyman?
There's not a Handyman, bro. It's Blank Man, you got Candyman.
You got Candyman. Bro, Handyman.
Bro,
Handyman was the Justice Legion of America. It was on In Living Color. And, bro, this could not be a thing in this day and age. Handyman was handicapped.
Oh, man.
I never heard that.
The Adventures of Handyman on A Living Color, dude. This dude had a cape on. He was.
Why couldn't that be?
He was a sped superhero.
Why couldn't that be a thing nowadays? What was the type of like
It's just
material that was?
Bro,
you gotta watch it,
let's
man.
watch a clip. You want to watch a clip real quick?
Nah, just spare time.
Oh, is that bad?
You know,
Damn, we gotta cut this.
spare time.
Anyway, Mo Money, Major Pain. All right, but
Yeah.
then you got Keenan. Keenan is the genius to me of the family, right? He's the one that, he put on the show.
Yeah,
Low Down Dirty Shame to me is between that and Mo Money is my
Love Low
favorite
Down Dirty
Wayans
Shame.
I do
release.
like that movie.
love that movie, to be quite
And that
honest.
soundtrack was fire.
I'd rather
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
get you sucker was funny.
I'd rather
It
watch
was.
More Money.
Then Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah. Look, Low Down Dirty Shame. It may have been a better movie. May have been a better movie, but I love More Money, bro.
Hey, that's a good.
I'll watch that movie at any time of the day.
I know,
That's a good one
man.
right there. Low Down Dirty Shame or Mo Money, like
Low Down. Let's do a vote. Low Down Dirty Shame versus Mo Money. Which is better?
Yeah.
Which is funnier? Who had the most beautiful female? Like, cause the females and you got Stacey
Low Down,
Dash.
bro. Low Down Dirty, bro.
Hey, that's actually a hard
Versus-
one because
Bro,
like,
Stacey Dash, Jada Pinkett, and
aren't they both kind of crazy?
Sally
the girl-
Richardson.
Sally Richardson, Tupac. Yeah,
Tupac.
Tupac girl.
Sally Richardson. Tupac.
That's what I remember her by. She dated
Absolutely.
Tupac.
Yeah.
But those three. Okay, so we talking about that now. Mo Money.
Like a young Stacey Dash.
Young
She
Stacey
looked-
Dash
she looked
was
gorgeous.
just. Oh, man.
But
Sally, I'm sorry,
young.
Sally is killing him.
I don't know who that is.
Sally
I don't remember.
Richardson, the one, the main girl in Low Down Dirty Shame.
Stupid motherfucker. Could have had some pussy. That was her best line right there.
Hold on.
You have Rock in there.
I'm gonna look it up.
Charles Dutton.
Why does nobody remember The Rock, bro? Him as Rock. That show.
Man, it doesn't even get like.
I love that show, bro.
It doesn't get. I feel like it doesn't get no play around. Like,
No love.
you got positivity.
Hold
You
on,
got.
Marlon Wayans is pretty funny though, bro. Like,
I know,
you
Marlon.
got White Chicks, you got both skate movies. You got the Wayans Bros. I thought he was funny in that. And then Don't Be a Menace.
The Senseless, bro.
Senseless
Senseless.
is just amazing. Speaking of Senseless, you know the mother on Snowfall was his girl in Senseless.
Really?
Yeah. All right. So the mother on Snowfall. Let me clean that up. The mother of
Talking about Franklin's girl.
Franklin's girl,
Yeah.
not Franklin's mom.
Yeah. I was like,
Sorry,
Franklin, mom.
Franklin's mom.
Damn. Who? What's that? What happened?
There you go. It's happening again.
I'm just saying, hey, man, if I'm being honest, man, I get tired of seeing her. But anyway, all right, look, it's the same. The mother of his girl, of his wife.
Yeah, I see it now because I did forget.
That's
about
the girl
that.
in
Yeah,
Senseless.
she's been in a number of movies though.
Yeah, I feel like she played some random roles. She's probably been a nurse or something like that. But yeah,
But I don't know which one is fun. Back to the topic. I don't know which one is funnier, but like, I remember Marlon in the movies a lot more.
I might say. Oh, you talking about
I
Marlon or
think
Damon?
Marlon
Or you
is-
talking about
Because
movies?
I think those two are the funniest.
Yeah.
And I may lean towards Marlon because I've seen more of his like
Yeah, that makes
materials
sense.
in movies.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that, man. He's got more,
He got
a
the-
larger
the
body of
Six
work.
Man. I know
More
he wasn't
range.
funny in the Six Man, but like I fucking love that movie.
Six Man's amazing.
It's one of my favorite basketball movies.
I love that
man.
movie.
And it's not that good of a movie. But
They
it's
don't
like,
even be getting like.
well, what you
the
talking
shine
about? That was an
I'm
excellent
talking
film. No, that was an excellent film.
Excellent
What do you mean?
Society. I don't even think Society remembers that movie, bro. I'm not gonna lie to
Yo,
you.
the
But I
people who
fucking
need
love
to
that
remember
movie.
Six Man
I
remember
love-
Six
Real
Man.
I
movie
really
lovers,
love that
bro.
movie.
Real movie
I
I
lovers.
thought that was
know,
the
bro.
Kadeem Hardison was
That's in my top
hilarious.
five.
in
Like
this
top
movie,
five
right?
basketball movies. That's definitely in my top five.
They don't even be getting the
Now,
shine
that's
as like
it's not
basketball
necessarily
movie.
a good basketball movie.
I
Like,
love it, bro. I love that movie.
like if we're just putting on the mirror,
That's why I said it's not that good of a movie,
showcasing
but I
basketball. Not a
love
lot of
that
movies have like really done basketball well. It's always like really
What about Like Mike?
cringy scenes.
What?
Now this is way past point. I'm like, when you like Mike,
Bro,
I'm like,
you-
bro, like,
Mike was good. The first
Love-
Like Mike,
you
Kyle
were-
Chambers, nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, it was solid, bro. It was solid.
I
You
was
love
a
that
little
shit
too
though.
old.
Like,
I love that movie. The first Like Mike was great, bro. Fuck out of here.
great, yeah, all right.
it was a good movie, man.
Anyway,
What about Juwanna Man?
Fucking love Juwanna Man too, bro.
Hey, it was a solid movie, bro.
There's no way you don't like that movie.
I can't watch Juwanna Man. Though. I'm sorry.
I ain't watched that movie in at least 10 years.
I can't watch Juwanna Man.
Bro,
love that
it's
movie.
Yeah, Kim Wayans was in that
You know
movie.
what's
though.
crazy
You
is
know,
that
another
topic
Wayans.
is so crazy. It's like now, like the topic of Juwanna Man is happening like in
Oh,
other
yeah.
sports.
It was
Crazy, man. Hey, man.
If y'all don't know what like
told the
Juwanna
future.
Man, let's like a star basketball player decides to dress up as a woman and join the women's professional basketball league when his on-court antics get him suspended.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
dominates that shit too.
Wild movie plot.
I love that movie, bro.
Bro, I got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
10%. Damn.
That is crazy. Look,
bad,
it's not necessarily a good movie.
Yeah,
like,
no, I got you.
When
I
you
got
put it up against other basketball movies, for sure. But I enjoyed watching that shit.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's
I
like
don't have to be analytical, bro. Like,
it's
Yeah.
like how I feel
like,
about.
bro, let's just be honest. We all love Trippin'. That movie sucks.
Whoa!
Oh man, now you
Bro, that's not a good
going too
movie.
far, son.
Bro, look, that's not a
crossed
good
the line.
That's
All
not
right.
a good movie.
I was-
Let's be honest.
Damn, man, that's a good movie.
This is a good point.
I had a
It's good
better,
point.
I had a better example. All right, I feel. All right,
Trippin', there's no way people think Trippin' is a good movie.
I
But we
can't-
love that movie,
What are you
bro.
talking about?
There's
It's a good
no
movie.
way.
All right, look.
Hey.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
It is so bad.
So bad.
I love that
But
movie.
I fucking love that movie.
Nah.
Anytime that shit come on, I'm watching it. Like,
I believe it.
It's
but
so
it's
bad, bro.
understandably a horrible movie. Even the live action Street Fighter movie that they made in the 90s.
That's a
I
very
love
it's a
that
forgettable
movie.
film. They
And
did
it is
Blanca so wrong. on
it
that
is like
film,
literally
man.
the worst video game adaptation movie of all time. Like if there was a poll, it would be voted last.
Yeah, unless there's some that we really don't know.
Those are
but that
just
was pretty
enjoyable
terrible,
movies,
though.
man. They're
It's
not
enjoyable to
necessarily
watch.
good films.
Super Mario Brothers.
When you analyze them.
Live action Super Mario Brothers. Do you remember that movie?
Bro, Super Mario Brothers was a really good movie. Yeah,
I
John
know.
Leguizamo.
I don't know
That
if
was a good
But
movie.
that's the second to last worst video game adaptation to a movie. If there was a vote, these two movies would get last: Street Fighter, Mario Brothers, and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But you just enjoy watching them shit.
Okay, so Last of Us.
You don't have to be.
Last of video game adaptations. Is Last of Us the best? Is this the cream of the crop of video game adaptations?
They cheating, bro. They got a whole show, man. It's
Yeah, they
hour
got
and a
like
half long
hour
episodes. Like
Yeah.
each
I mean-
episode is a movie.
Everybody loved a video game, so like when the first season kind of follows a video game, it's easy to grasp, like, you know, people's attention. Especially like it, and I mean they portrayed it well.
Yeah,
But
man,
I
they're
don't.
doing a good job.
Even if they portrayed it like okay, I still think people would be like, yo, this shit's amazing.
So is that's how you feel like just after like season 1 is done? Last episode, I finally got to watch it like a few days ago.
Don't tell me that because I haven't watched the last episode.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we can't even what?
I'm sorry, guys. No, I'm playing. I don't care. I'm still
No, that's all right, man. It's
still
all right.
watching,
You
man.
need to watch it. All right,
We don't have to.
This is I just haven't watched the very last episode. Watch everything else.
all right,
Sorry to burst the bubble here.
all right. Yeah, you killed that
Well,
shit.
shit, fuck
We'll
Last
wait,
of Us
we'll
now.
wait.
Then we don't have to talk about
We'll
this
wait.
shit.
I love how we just jumped, dude. We just jumped from the Wayans to
That is
Mortal
really
Kombat
crazy.
Annihilation.
To
Six
live
Man
action
was
Super
in-
Mario Bros. We threw
Yeah,
tripping
wow.
in there.
You threw
I
Triple in
did.
there.
I did. throw
Unfairly, that movie was great.
How y'all feel about Creed 3? I know last time we talked about like it being great. Did it deliver?
I think so.
I think it delivered, man. I think it delivered. I will still hold true to me feeling that like Michael B. Jordan is not a elite actor. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor.
Oh well,
But-
if you want to say it, that's fine. Like if you want to say he's not a
But
great
there was-
actor, that's fine.
I think he
But
played everything perfectly. Like in
He
the
and
last
he
movie.
directed the film.
I went
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Look, I went back and watched the
You
first
imagine
two
how
Creeds,
hard that is.
and I think like
It can
he,
be challenging. I don't have to look.
I think he did a good job. Like, I think he did a good job, bro. He's a
No, I
good
think
actor.
It was a really good movie.
He's
man.
a good actor. Like I watched.
I still can't believe this is a question. There's no question that he's a good actor.
He's
Like,
definitely a good actor, bro.
He's definitely a good actor. There's no question about it.
Yeah, but like we already know that right now all a man has to do is get like one crazy blockbuster, then people start calling him to go. And I can't allow this to happen.
I haven't seen any
I
headline
can't allow this to happen.
that says he's the
Who the
GOAT.
fuck is saying he's the GOAT?
I don't know, man.
You
This
like
is what I'm
killing it
saying.
before
This
anybody
is-
can say it.
This
He's-
is what I'm saying would happen. happens. Like,
I don't understand.
People
hate
are
I mean, it's
going to
recency
start calling this
bias,
man.
but I don't think people gonna start saying he's the GOAT.
Watch, bro. Just the standards of everything.
They not even
in
saying it
every
now.
field.
Look, they not even
We
saying
just
it now.
talked about Michael V.
All right.
Okay, let's keep
The
it on.
man is
Creed
really
3.
he's super dope. He's a super dope dude. But like, if we're talking about,
Look, nobody is saying he's the GOAT now, and they just had the highest.
He's a really good
sports
actor,
film,
man.
like ever.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know.
So if
everything is
there was
set
a
up.
time, wouldn't this be the time? Like,
To say he's the GOAT?
no, I'm saying he's saying that. Like, I'm saying that nobody is saying he's the GOAT. He was saying that you get one blockbuster movie and everybody's saying you're the GOAT. But I'm not saying this was blockbuster, but it's the highest grossing sports film of all
was.
time.
I mean, like,
okay,
this,
well, bam,
this
it's the
blew out
highest
everything,
grossing
right?
sports film of all time. So it's like nobody's saying he's the GOAT now.
Hey, I think that's
Right.
an amazing
But
feat.
it wasn't
though.
from
Amazing
acting.
feat.
Like,
For sure.
it's not like I'm not looking at this and like, oh my god, all the actors killed their roles. I'm inspired by their
Hey,
ability to act.
Jonathan Majors.
I actually don't like.
Always,
I don't
kills
like
him.
how he was speaking, like the way he did the voice of the character he was trying to portray. It just sounded weird to me.
Bro.
It's real nigga, bro.
It just sounded weird to me,
bro.
It just sounded weird.
Hey, I don't know,
What you mean,
man.
bro? I think it was real.
I
I
thought
hear
I
that.
thought it was dope.
it was all right. So one element of the movie that I felt was a little overstretched was
How this nigga got a title shot immediately.
right, but that also happened to Creed himself,
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
right? So like I didn't have a problem with that specifically. I just thought that like who the fuck is gonna flip around and switch on you like this? Like you gotta like when Michael B. Jordan walked into the party after he won the belt or whatever, after Jonathan Majors won the belt, and then he just punches Michael B. Jordan like
Bro, it was
At
like
a bonfire.
at a bonfire.
it was a plot, you know. That was a plan. He had like
Yeah, this
like
nigga
decades
thought
to
about this
plan
for
this out
years.
and be patient. He learned patience. He learned capitalizing at the right moment.
Did he cite it? Did he cite like the reason I always wanted to get revenge on you or something?
He don't need to. And if they would have did it, that'd have been super corny. Nah,
I
that's
mean,
already
but
a
the
plan.
reason, the reason pretty much was Michael B was living his life.
Like, bro, I gave you this opportunity. The only
Like,
reason-
cause he was the top
Well, not
boxer.
gave you
Like
this,
Michael B.
but
Jordan
you
as a
took
kid,
advantage.
he was
Yeah,
going like following him around to those like underground fights or whatever. And he's in jail because Michael B. Jordan did some dumb shit
Yeah, I guess it,
in
you
front
know,
of the drugstore.
Look, I still don't understand why Sylvester Stallone would say this is too dark. If that was an exact quote, Sylvester Stallone, I really don't understand what you're saying, and I think it's some bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't agree.
Because at the end, you know, they didn't kill each other. Like at the end, they was like, they walked away like, okay, we good now.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
all
like
good.
we talk dark, like in the original Rocky, like somebody like Apollo Creed got killed in
That was
the
dark.
ring. Like,
The
that's
darkest
something
man
that's dark.
in the movie
That's something that's dark.
got murdered.
I actually went to watch those too. Like that was a really good movie.
I loved, of course, I
Rocky
love
movie.
Rocky and Rocky 2.
Rocky 4 is, yeah.
I watched Rocky 5 and I like that movie, even though that shit is not like people would not think.
I watched it too, but
I like Tommy Gunn. R.I.P. I think he died. If I'm not mistaken.
R.I.P. indeed.
He's
But
a real boxer, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. I will just go out and say it. The Creed trilogy is better than the Rocky series. It's not more impactful, but I just feel it's better.
I cannot agree. I'm not gonna and this is not to take anything away from Creed because it's an amazing, I think, series of movies, but Rocky got a statue, bro. Like,
Why does he
like,
have a statue?
I don't
though?
agree. He should have a statue. It should have been a real boxer. We already know that, but or maybe we all don't know that, but
Yeah, like if,
I think that like as a movie, Rocky is better.
I don't know, man.
yeah,
Like,
I said
yeah,
I said it very easily,
there-
and I think it's a
there
little
are
bit
a
more
lot of
debatable.
Character development for me, like Rocky versus
Bro, Joe
Creed,
Frazier is from Philly, and he don't even have a statue, but Rocky got a statue in Philly.
I mean, it's the eye of the tiger, bro.
God, that is.
It's tough.
Just,
It's
wait.
tough.
Maybe they gave him a statue. No, I think they gave him a statue. Sorry, guys. Joe Frazier does have a statue now.
See, selective outrage, man.
I actually think I like watching the Creed movies more than
Damn, I
as
was
a whole.
way off. Bro got a statue in 1971.
God damn.
Damn.
So, all right.
We
So
don't
right
even
now,
know that though. That's kinda
I've seen
We're not
Rocky.
from Philly, but
We've seen Rocky how many times at this point? Like, been referred to. I've only seen each Creed movie.
Bro, I watched Rocky on TBS when there was nothing else to do.
I watched it. Yeah,
when I was a little kid.
I watched Rocky.
I know. No, I'm saying we've seen Rocky way too much now. So yeah, like right now, I'd rather watch the Creed trilogy right now.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing new I can learn about Rocky. I feel. I've already seen those. You know, for how many years you've been.
I think people are like across the board. If we really debated this, like people would be like, "No way, Rocky is definitely shitting on Creed." I think
the Creed movie as a whole is a better watch from start to finish. I tried to watch Rocky 4 over again, and I didn't care about the little dialogue between him and Adrian, and everything leading up to like training for the fight. It was boring to me.
So put 4 and 5 to the side, because I think Rocky 1, 2, and 3 were clearly those are the best ones.
Nah,
Rocky 3?
I gotta go with Rocky 4, man.
Rocky 4 is the best one, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what the Russian.
Rocky 3?
So
with
what
Mr.
made
T?
Rocky 4? Yeah, I love seeing
Dolph
Mr. T.
Lundgren.
Clubber Lang.
If
and
he
then
dies, he dies. That's Rocky 4.
That's Rocky 4. That wasn't one of the previous Rockies?
No, that was Rocky 4. It's the best fight in the whole Rocky series.
Yeah, that is the best one.
Like Hulk Hogan was in Rocky 3, bro.
Rocky fought him in the exhibition.
They were just throwing him in there, man. You know you love to
Clubber
see
Lang,
stars.
bro.
Mr. T. I mean, people love that one. You know, it's just
His dialogue was horrible though.
Punches is
Clubber
like
Lang,
ridiculous too, man. Taking like 80 punches.
Clubber Lang.
It's
Bro,
ridiculous.
did you see
But
all the hits
the
that
Rocky-
Michael B. Jordan was taking, bro?
That was
These
a
men,
like,
If you want to talk about
haymaker.
what's the best fight, like the Ivan Drago and Rocky fight was the best fight out of all movies, I think.
Yeah.
I just
all
rewatched
those
it.
Rocky
I just
and
rewatched
Apollo
this last
Creed
week, bro.
was
That fight
crazy
is
too,
amazing.
though. Rocky and Apollo Creed was crazy.
Maybe
too,
I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah.
That shit not better than the Ivan Drago fight.
This
I'm sorry,
this is a good debate right here. It's like
this is
it's
iconic.
tough.
Like Dolph Lundgren's.
I feel like that, and
his
I
whole
could
character was
I
iconic.
could be off with this, but I feel like the Ivan Drago and Rocky fight is like George Foreman and Ali. Like what I mean by this
In the
is
cinema world.
Foreman was giving that nigga work, bro.
Hey, I actually, man, when I watched that full fight, I don't think Ali was ever in any real trouble. Way they make it.
That's fine, but the way they make it seem, George Foreman was like giving him work. Like, wasn't Ali down on the scorecards?
No, I don't think so. Really.
What? There ain't no way he went down on the scorecard.
Seems like we need to check some facts here.
Let's check some
we
facts.
need to-
Why does
like-
everybody talk about this fight? Like Foreman was beating the shit out of Ali. Like,
Because Foreman
Because he
was
gave
like
the perception that him going up in the ropes was him like taking damage.
well, shit. Well,
You
fuck
know.
my analogy then. If that's the
No,
case.
it's all right. It's all right.
we're gonna have to check these stats. First of all, I gotta go back and watch some of the Rockies, and then I'm gonna check out the Creed trilogy, and we're gonna revisit this because I definitely think that this
Creed
is like,
trilogy
it's
versus
debatable.
the Rocky series, which is more impactful, which is
What's
just a
more
better
impactful to Rocky, for
series.
sure, but-
Just in general. Yeah, I probably would
better,
go with
I'd
Rocky
say.
and more
Me
impactful.
personally, I say Creed.
Over time, yeah. What is the better series? So that's the second debate right there for you all. Boom.
All right. So Creed 3 was dope, and then Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors talking about like they trying to have Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
They might
relationship.
redo Heat.
Yeah.
Man, I like the idea. I do wish they just come up with more original concepts, and that's probably in the can. But when talks it was like we'll redo something like the movie Heat. I feel like Heat is one of the greatest films in cinema. Man, that'd be awesome to see.
That'd be cool. I like them together.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was dope. It's just, I think I agree with you on wanting it to be the original content, just because.
Yeah. More original content.
You know, the remakes. I mean, it has a limit to it. You know what I mean? It has a ceiling. You know, where if you
been
make
done
a
for
remake,
so long.
you can only compare it to the original.
But it's bankable too. The idea in Hollywood is bankable, and like studios will probably back it up a little bit more than an original concept.
I got a question. Like, do you think the creativity behind movies is like falling off now?
Yeah, absolutely.
bro, this is a part of one something I was gonna go into with in every single industry, every single like we're talking about sports, cinema, music, art, everything. The standards have dropped in everything. Like, you can.
And that's not more of an onus on the actual artist.
No.
Because there are great artists within these industries.
But everything is seen as amazing now. Like you could do,
but it's not
the smallest amount.
Society, okay, so
the money involved in these things.
Yeah, so that goes back to like our last episode. Like it's a society problem. The way they view greatness.
Yeah, I think so. Like the definition of greatness, because it's like, you know, I mean, I think we all know.
Man, it's not just that. It's also these industries and the ones funding the industry and expecting a return from the like in these industries, like the film industry and music industry. They're at that greed and that lack of connectivity with the artists from businessmen, you know, executives, those guys who probably sit around and they just, you know, spend millions of dollars like it's Skittles. Like, that is the issue. They are diminishing the culture of creativity within these industries. And then I think we can talk about the standards. The standards is a reaction over that. You know, like we get so, for example, so many superhero movies. It's a whole, like, once those first few superhero movies, and not the ones in the 90s, which is a lot better in my opinion, like The Crow, Blade, and I mean, shit, even Spawn. I like Spawn.
I love Spawn.
Don't hate on Spawn.
No,
Michael J. White is the man.
I like the movie, but
don't hate on Spawn.
Spawn is the movie that you bringing up. Top superhero movies, nigga. What?
Spawn ain't even a superhero.
That's what I'm saying. Like
comic adaptations.
I got
the industry. Like, once that opened up after the whole X-Men experiment, because I don't even think it was even X-Men that broke the door, right? It was like once Avengers started really coming through the lane and they got the whole universe of like Marvel like
universe.
The whole universe of Marvel.
I got a lot of like those moments. Paradigm. I thought about Paradigm.
I'll never forget that. I fucked up.
Like, I'm about to eat that. Anyway, like, that's when the value went. It's like any drug on the market or anything that's on the market. Once it becomes oversaturated, like, the quality drops significantly, and that's what we're seeing.
Y'all ain't seen Scream 6.
Nah, I
haven't seen Scream 6.
I have not seen Scream.
Let's just go. How y'all feel
I haven't
about?
seen Scream 5 or 4, to be honest.
4 is probably the one that you don't need to see. I don't know if you feel that way, but I didn't really like 4. I didn't care for 5.
Nah, 4 hard.
I didn't like 4. I gotta rewatch 4, but I didn't care for 5 when I first watched it. But how do y'all feel about Snowfall?
Oh
Shit.
Yo, my man Franklin is going crazy.
He's going
You said
on.
you wanted to cook, nigga. Well, cook. Like, that man went in and
Yeah, it's like
burned this dude's face. Like,
it's almost like, yo, we need those kind of moments from you. We need your Denzel, like, you know, those training day moments.
Here we go with these Denzel comparisons.
I'm just saying.
Bro,
I'm
that's-
just,
second episode in a row.
that's
That's
what
the
they're
one.
expecting. That's what they're expecting.
That's the standard right there.
Yeah.
Because once he did it the first time. It was like 2 seasons ago, where he like snaps out. I don't know if it was last season or the season before.
On
he
Leo?
kind of has that.
In the car?
Is that the moment
I think that is the moment.
where he has like his first like yell moment where you like, damn, Franklin is.
Yeah, I think that was
shit.
that was him and Leon in the car.
This, I think, what they're doing is just
Maybe.
showing him Breaking Bad. Like, you know, everything's getting to him. My man ain't got he's got his money. He's literally spiraling out of control, and they're like showing that by his reaction. Like with that scene that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Plus with some other ones. I mean,
Did y'all see the last episode?
Yeah. Saw last episode.
You saw the last episode?
which one?
For
The
Snowfall.
last episode, nigga.
Oh yeah, what happened? You see the last one? Which one?
The one with Teddy's dad.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
That
so
was.
spoiler alert.
He
We
went
got
crazy, bro.
We definitely got to put the spoiler
He
alert.
went crazy.
What you call it?
All right.
He went
I didn't
crazy,
think
man.
he was gonna kill him like that. When I saw that, I was like, damn.
Hey,
And do we know for sure if Teddy killed Franklin's dad?
He did. I had a bet. That man's gone, bro. He would have came back already.
No, we don't know
It's
that
not
for sure. We don't know
understanding,
that
man.
for sure.
I'm just not understanding.
Bro, like, tell me what
Why
purpose would it be for him to stay away so long?
Bro, I don't know.
Bro, maybe.
But
All right, do y'all
feel
remember
like-
a
I
couple
feel like they'll
episodes
do
ago that he said that they had somebody act like Franklin to get access to his money or some shit like that?
This is interesting. Like, what if there was?
It was a line like that.
I don't feel like we have an
Teddy
end
was
to that
like,
storyline.
I forgot exactly what it was, but Teddy said that he had somebody act like Franklin or something along those lines. Yeah. So when he said that, I think I talked to y'all about it. I was like, bro, what if
you can't just leave that this closed? You can't close that.
What if his dad is still alive?
Look,
I have an
ongoing bet with Tay that he was still alive. But there's been, first of all, there was no confirmation that, like, you know, you didn't see him get shot.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
you just automatically assume that he was
they left
dead.
it open. It's open-ended.
It's open-ended, but I think my man's gone. Too. You know, I'm gonna hold true for my bet because I want to win this money. But I definitely think that he's.
And that would make this. That would make this. I don't know. That'll make this whole scenario of Franklin killing his dad like, man, Franklin salty.
Well, I mean,
that's the only reason you would feel like you need to do something like that is because, yo, this is the man that took everything from you. You know, like he took your money and he killed your father. Yeah, like the best give back here. I'm about to take everything from you. I'm about to kill your father. Like eye for an eye type shit. Yeah. And then you're gonna be salty when he's like, wait, but your dad was right here, dog. You just killed my father, man. It's like, she still took my money.
I don't think that shows up. Like we won't find it out until like the second to last episode or something like that.
I think Teddy about to do some raw shit. All right.
I want Teddy to die, but I'm gonna be honest.
I don't want Teddy to die.
What about your man Jerome?
I think either Jerome or Louis is gonna die.
They probably both gotta die.
They both, man. Jerome ain't just gonna let Louis die.
Louis needs to die.
Louis needs to go.
And I say that because
Louis gotta go.
Jerome was a stand-up dude, man. All he wanted to do was, you know, work at the car shop.
You a dying breed. Damn, I thought he was gonna slap him right there.
I did think it was gonna be over.
I thought he was
when he cleared out the room. I thought he was gonna beat the shit out of him.
I did. He got 2 ass whoopings. But that 2 episodes in a row. Yeah. But
the look in his face, he
you can
like
see
he knew it.
Like Jerome is taking all of this shit in and it's affecting this nigga, bro. Like every scene he has a facial expression to where he's like, damn, man, this shit done got too far. Like shit done got way too far.
Not like
teach your man how to squabble, nigga. That's just my shit, bro.
No, that's funny. He beat the hell out of that dude.
Jerome is one of the best characters, man.
He is, man. So, he definitely represents that old head era, and you can tell that, you know, that transition into. I mean, I think they stated it well in this last episode. The transition into the new game, these young kids, this next generation, like they're a different breed. They're thinking differently. They're responding differently.
No, it's no loyalty, man. They ain't got no code. You know what I'm saying? So, and that, you know, we've seen that story come out.
Yeah. And I guess that part, I guess that gets worse like throughout every generation because now we see today's like environment when it relates to violence and that type of world, and those things are constantly being stated. Like it's getting worse and worse. There's no code, blah 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 blah. So it's an interesting like gradual decline, I guess. But maybe I don't know if that's like really true. I think the rules just change. Sometimes it's true. In some cases, it's definitely true. When we talk about code,
it's definitely true. Don't nobody really respect elders no more. I mean but
you are really representing. You're representing in all your cases like that old dude who's like, there's no hope for shit.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Like, your approach, like standards is just drop.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better, man. I'm leaving this fucking country. But yeah, man, somebody gotta die. Jerome, I thought Leon was gonna get murked too. To be quite honest,
I thought he was too.
Because like, you know, anytime they start like, they'll show a little
when
bit
they
of
said that about
backstory.
Wanda, I thought that was the funniest shit ever, dude. Sorry, Wanda.
Oh man, but everybody's thinking that, bro. You already know it's like, bro, everybody in.
And came back.
When somebody's story is starting to change, like
you left with a crackhead.
Like it's showing all these happy shit. Like I thought he was gonna die because now his life's starting to change. He's starting to think differently. Oh, he's gonna get capped at the end of the last season or end of the previous season.
Yeah,
but
that's what I
mean, it's still like what's in these
type
of
Leon's
scenarios.
Leon just came back strong.
It don't look like Leon's gonna die.
But somebody big is gonna die. I can see.
No, Louis gonna die.
I can see Franklin. I would not need Louis to
one of them because remember they went to Scully's house and he gave him that card or something, and
Oh, yeah.
she dropped it. Like, she didn't believe in it. She put that shit on the ground, and I think that's
Yeah.
foreshadowing her death.
Yeah, because
Or at least Jerome's death.
that man Scully been moving.
Scully
very
is funny,
strategically,
dog.
bro. He's hilarious.
That nigga's funny, bro.
And then you got Kane, who is an interesting guy.
Interesting character, absolutely.
Because it seems like he's using Franklin, but I think he gonna get marked in the end.
He probably gonna die, man.
Franklin? Or
No,
Kane.
Kane. Yeah, Kane. Because, I mean, what is
That's
what is
bogus. Like,
So
why,
it's either 'cause
why
it's-
did they keep him alive after just taking so much damage? Dude's continued like to taking damage.
He a warrior.
And he just knows that. Yeah, he is. And he knows that, like, Franklin, you're at the center of all of this shit, dude. And I gotta keep you close. Like, this is what it is.
No, he
So
said Franklin a hoe. Hoes make money. That's
gotta keep him
whole
close.
philosophy right there.
Gotta keep him close in this scenario. So
But,
it'll be interesting.
We'll see how that.
And he
I
did
don't know.
have one of my favorite scenes though.
Who,
Of
Kane?
the show, yeah. When he first got introduced to Leon and well, not first got introduced, but when he came back when they was on the baseball field.
Soccer field or whatever field that
I think it
was.
was baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
Whatever.
But yeah, his little monologue, I was like, yeah, that shit cool.
Yeah.
Like, this nigga gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So, hey,
It's hard not to
wanted
love Giannis, man.
I wanted to bring this up. You got the whole MVP talk.
Yep.
One, I don't know if y'all watched this season enough.
Well, for
But
Jokic.
like,
I mean, enough to know like the.
yeah, like for
the
who do
MVP
y'all think is
talk.
the MVP? But then like, what do you think the criteria of the MVP should be? Do you think it should just stay the same throughout the rest of the years to come, or do you think it kind of changes? Because the narrative has been changing.
Best player on the best team. Is that what we're talking about? Is the current?
No, that was the
Definition.
narrative back then. Like why Steve Nash got 2, you got best player, best team. They had the best record, so they're considered the best team.
So your players, like off top, like
It's
players
not like
gotta
that
play
anymore.
like 70% to even be considered. So you got to play 70% of the season to be considered for the MVP.
Is that official now?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Because I know I saw that they were like planning to pass that, but it's official. I guess
Yeah,
it, like-
70% to qualify.
It should definitely
That's
be
good.
efficient. Like
That's good.
that stops load management.
I mean, it's like a little bit too late because you got all these players that like benefited from low management and like they're breaking records, and it's like, bro, if I score 40 points in second game of the season, and then I chill for 5 games, and then I come back on that game and I score 40 points again, they'll literally say, oh, he has 2 consecutive 40-point games. What like that kind of idea is.
This is the
It's
most
backwards,
for somebody
so-
that's 36 in 3 months.
That was weird ass like random stats.
You know,
Yeah.
and they leave out the context. They'll just give somebody a record or like be like, oh, this is an amazing performance from this person, and then leave out all the context. Like the fact that they sat out and they,
So what is
people
that
were making-
criteria
people
though?
were
You
doing
know?
all this stuff, playing all the games. So I like, I do like the minimum 70% gameplay for league.
Now team
awards.
wins.
Your team should at least be top 3 in the conference.
Okay.
Yeah,
Top 3. The lowest I would go is top 4. I'm not giving no MVP to a 6 seed, bro.
yeah. I think
Unless
top 3 makes
he's
sense.
having the most unreal season ever, like this nigga's averaging 45 points or like some crazy outrageous season like that.
Depends. I mean, maybe just give it to it's between.
Because Jokic won an
the top
MVP
2
last year and
teams.
he was the 6 seed.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said
So
like
it's not best player on best team.
So they won the best team. Obviously, he's the best player, but like,
and then
they-
like what about like highest point totals? That doesn't always.
I don't think
count.
you should like.
I mean, I think it's a factor, but it's like not.
It shouldn't be. You don't have to.
Because
you
you
have
got
to be
other,
top 10 in scoring. You know,
right?
Because
Because you have
don't know
the
if I
score,
agree
you have a
with that.
scoring title. Like you have an award for that already, right? So it's like if the MVP doesn't go to the leading scorer of the league, like he still got
Yeah, you don't have to
scoring title.
average 30 points a game for you, like for people to recognize your value. So I
But
don't
I
think
do-
that should be criteria. But it ain't like you can't average fucking 14, 15 points and be considered the MVP. I don't think that should be.
Maybe there should be minimum stat requirements.
I mean, Bill
For the
Russell
MVP.
probably won with those stats that you just named like 3 times. He won from 1960 to 1963.
One is there's definitely a lot more players in the league now, and then 2, he was averaging like 24 rebounds a game with like 2-3 blocks. So like those are you can add if you're and he's a center, so it's like you can average 15, 16 points a game. Where you giving me 23, 24 rebounds and multiple blocks, and you're the best defensive player in the league. It's like okay, that's reasonable. But if it's like a guard and he's averaging 15, maybe like a 15 and 10, 15 points, 10 assists, it's like, are you really the most valuable player in the league, bro? I don't know.
Yo, how do you feel that
Steve Nash shouldn't have won that second one?
The last 4 years, there's been
shout out Steve Nash though.
Yeah, shout out Steve Nash.
I do love
the player, not the coach.
The last 4 years has been out somebody like international. So Giannis and Jokic. You know, the last 4 years, Giannis won back to back, and then Jokic won back to back. Do you think that's a factor in terms of we need to spread the international appeal, and therefore we're going to kind of lean toward an international player? Do you think that's a factor?
I don't.
Possibly, but it's like you can't argue with the stats.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like,
so like you can say that, but then you'd be like, oh wait, let's look at Giannis' stats. Damn.
Like you can make an argument that Giannis is the best player in the league right now.
Yeah.
Like he probably is the best player in the league right now. Well, him or
it's hard
Embiid.
not to love that guy too, man, because it's like skill on the court plus like his mindset. He's so humble.
And he has the mentality that old heads love.
Yeah, but it's like.
Would it be outrage if Jokic wins like a third time in a row over Embiid?
I think yes, because all right, look.
That's an interesting one.
Because like you keep giving somebody the MVP and they have nothing. Like I know it's a regular season award. I get that.
And I don't think.
But it's like you're giving the MVP to a guy that will never fucking win a championship. I guarantee you, Jokic never wins a championship. Not with this current team. Another superstar is gonna have to come. Something's gonna have to happen. With this current Nuggets team, he will. And I'm not shitting on Jokic. I mean, that's what it sounds like, of course. But I recognize the talent that he has, and you know the skill that he has. But you know damn well the Nuggets ain't winning no championship.
All right,
but they are. I mean, number one in the West right now.
Look, I don't. I'm not gonna say they'll never win a championship, right? Because the West is so wide open.
I mean, it's so hard to see him winning though.
The West is so wide open right now that no team looks like a clear cut favorite. Bro, the Kings look like they're 2 seed. The Kings are the 2 seed. Kings not winning the chip this year, right?
No, they're not.
So it's like it's wide open. Bro, the Lakers are fighting to get. They could get to the chip realistically if LeBron comes back healthy by the playoffs. They could get there.
They're not even gonna be. Look, they're not even gonna be 500. They lost their chance to go 500 on the season. Plus,
but that's why the
it's
play-in
like
tournament
the play-in. Well, yeah, I know. That's like the play-in is their only.
Don't nobody
hope.
want to see the Lakers with a healthy LeBron and the team that they got. Nobody wants to play them.
I agree with you. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Think they're
because
I
don't think
make the play-in.
I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna make the play-in. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. It seems like they're gonna be playing desperate basketball.
It only depends on if Bron can come back. They will make the playoffs.
I do agree with you in the fact that I think their team, I think they've made the right moves, like D'Angelo Russell. I think the additions that they've added to the team have been positive, and I think it'll work in their favor.
I think they got Vanderbilt, he's been
next year. I don't think they're gonna do too much this year.
I just say they're right there.
And I'm curious about like LeBron's actual injury.
Yeah, it's a
he's
foot
older,
injury,
so who knows how it's going to affect him in that scenario.
Bottom line, if he comes back, I think they will. But the same thing you said about like Jokic, I mean, you can say that about Embiid. Like, it's not a guarantee that Philly will win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see them.
Embiid should be. He's the at the top of the MVP voting now.
Now, yeah,
because he's been going crazy, and I think he's leading the league in scoring. Like again, so it's like normally if there's a player who got second in the previous MVP race, and then he performs better than what he did back then, and he should be the MVP. It's just Jokic. His season has been crazy. Like he got the triple double as a center, and then he's shooting like fucking 60% from the field.
So is Embiid.
It's crazy. No, Embiid's not shooting 60%.
He isn't? No. It's at least 50%.
Embiid is probably shooting probably like 51, 52.
Okay.
But I give it to Embiid because he's the better defensive player. He's better offensively in terms of scoring. And like my criteria for my center, like if I had to choose, I want an Embiid type of player. I don't need my center to facilitate.
Yeah.
I don't really need that.
I guess. I mean,
this is something that Giannis said just recently. He said the thing that I don't get about the MVP criteria is it changes. Like I believe that people are dominating. So what is the MVP? Is it the guy who scores the most points? Is it the guy who's the most efficient, the most dominant, and or the most valuable? Sometimes the best player isn't the most valuable player on the team. Like I feel like Brook Lopez is such a valuable player for our team.
Defensive player to you?
Like the MVP criteria just it changes. Is pretty much what he says. So it's not consistent. They're not consistent, and
Which is
I
what-
wonder about the politics involved around why it would change. Like again, I'm not accusing the NBA of this, but when we talk about industries and standards kind of lowering, and I brought up the whole topic of the executives, the leadership, those guys that are funding the operation and expect a return on their investment, they're in a room somewhere, not playing the game. Most of them have no real idea of what it takes to be someone in that position, athlete or artist. But they're going to capitalize off of it, right? What in the case of the NBA is that, can we connect their intention, their mission, or their yearly goals, with the inconsistency of this MVP criteria? Because, and I brought up the whole international thing. That was a thing. At least the days of the 90s. We need to expand the NBA.
I mean, if you look at any company, it's like, they're pushing for diversity, inclusion, that idea, right? So like what that looks like in the NBA is this. Like,
exactly.
But I don't see that as a problem in the NBA though, because it's like it would only be a problem if for sure that whoever's voted the MVP is not performing at an MVP level. It's like if they was giving it to this fucking like random European player and he's only averaging like 20 points a game, maybe his team is third or whatever, like then you're like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're saying in this case, Jokic really
these players are actually balling. Like Giannis is balling, Jokic was balling. MVPs of in the 2010s, James Harden balling. Like those are legit MVPs. They're putting up MVP numbers. So I don't think it's a way to, I guess, market to international play, because
it certainly can help.
They already got the ties. They already got the ties out there.
Got you.
But it's just like.
But when NBA wants a face of the league, so it's like who's the face? Who's the next face of the league? Who do you think they're pushing to be the face of the league? Because I feel like there is politics.
It was, you had a couple people that was on their way. Juwanna Man, I think, was on his way to be some kind of face of the league, and that got nipped in the bud.
In terms of the newer players, or the younger players, they'd probably be like a Luka, a Ja. But like in terms of like social media appeal, Ja Morant would be that guy. But obviously now it's like you do some immature stuff, like that, and it costs you endorsements.
Why? This is so interesting to me. Like, I wouldn't even just wave a gun. I'm not even a superstar. I wouldn't wave a gun on the camera. And it was kind of weird how he waved it too. It was. He was all giddy about
weird,
it.
Man. Yeah, it seemed weird. The scenario seemed weird. Yeah.
Look, I already know. I think that Ja Morant probably would be an annoying person to be around. To be very honest, I don't know. I'm just going off of
he seemed cool to me.
I mean, he seems cool, but the antics and
what antics?
It kind of seems like he feels like he's hard.
Yeah,
it seems like that. And I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying that. I don't know.
I just think he's influenced by some of the people that's around him. I mean, that's the thing that I don't necessarily know if it's him, obviously, but I think the people around him play a part. I think some people around him probably live that life, and I mean, he's an NBA superstar. He got all this money, and he's 23, 24.
He's from the suburbs, man.
I mean, just because a nigga from the suburbs don't mean he's not.
No, I got you.
For lack of a better word, hard.
You see them childhood photos? Younger photos. They look like a very wholesome family, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, I ain't seen him, bro.
What you're trying to say is there is no reason for Ja Morant to be in this scenario.
He shouldn't be. I mean,
no reason.
The only reason you would be is if you are being influenced easily by the negative aspects of what they want to say, gangster hip hop culture, and whatever they talk.
I hate the narrative they started with the Grizzlies too. Before, this is where it all started. When the Grizzlies were really a very tight knit unit, great team. I felt great young team, and then they just started saying, "Oh well, yeah, Grizzlies want all the smoke. They want all the smoke." That that phrase, they started attaching that to the Grizzlies, and we saw how like their demeanor, the whole team demeanor, kind of changed. Like
Start drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit.
Yeah, I think they started kind of actually feeling
But
like
I feel like
we want all the smoke with everybody.
I don't get mad at that
means.
term because Memphis has always been looked at as like a grit and grind like kind of team. So they've always been like that rugged, like those disruptors, in my opinion. Even when you think of Zach Randolph, the Mike Conleys, the Tony Allens, when they had Rudy Gay, you got Marc Gasol, like they gave teams problems.
Yeah.
And they were always known as that grit and grind team.
Hey, I used to be on the Grizzlies.
I think he did. He did. So I think like I don't know if this is taking it to another level. I feel like it's kind of similar. Maybe it's a level above, but they just. I think it's just some young guys like they believe in themselves and they not ducking nobody. I think that's what they.
I agree with that, but that's how
because
I felt.
it was the talk from Golden State.
That's
and
what I
you
respected.
You got the narrative around like, oh, it's Golden State and the Grizzlies a rivalry and all that shit. So when you hear that, then. And they beat the Warriors in the play-in 2 years ago, and then the Warriors beat them in the playoff series.
That was
and then it's the talk back and forth. It's like, I mean, yeah, bro, y'all the champs.
You
we
got
the
a point
upcoming.
too about just like how easy it is for a group or a team or just individuals in general to, pick a kind of roll with the narrative. It's like they weren't really given the narrative.
They did drag it.
And that happens a
fucking
lot.
Dylan Brooks, bro. Like this man needs to chill out, man. Like, but hey, he's a Draymond type of player. He really is. I mean, he's not as good as Draymond in my opinion. He's got a better jump shot, but
his jump shot ass too.
No, it is. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not throwing his jump shot up there. I'm just saying he's got slightly better than Draymond. But yeah, I just thought that. I mean, I think Jaren Jackson the only one that he just be in the middle of it. Like I don't think him and Bane. Oh, actually Bane.
They all embrace it, man.
Bane was getting chippy with a couple people too.
I mean, if there shouldn't be a narrative around this team like they thugs or something like that. Like saying you want all the smoke, that doesn't equate to.
You're right.
It just means that I'm not running from any challenge, any team, any superstar in the league. Like. I believe in myself and I'm confident in myself to,
But the way they went about it, it was like a gateway mindset to their mindset now. What seems to be their mindset now.
I mean, I would never embracing the villain role. A lot of people do that. KD did that. The Warriors did that. I know they did it in a different way.
KD
but
ain't had no choice. You were the villain, bro.
I think that's where youth comes into play as well. Like.
Yeah.
People who normally embrace the villain role, they're a little older. Like Bron, like he embraced the villain role when he was in Miami.
It usually happens when somebody
and it was
an
older team. Now you look at this team, it's like they're a little young, so maybe it's a little easier for them to accept that narrative, I guess.
Yeah,
roll with that narrative and play a part.
I got you.
And then a situation like with John Morant only kind of exacerbates that scenario.
I mean, it's icing on the cake, right?
Yeah, he got the picture of him in the strip club.
Bro, the strip club sold them pictures. That's bogus.
Every basketball player does that, bro. It just adds on to the
James
the
Harden.
bullshit.
It's well known.
Facts.
We don't have many pictures of James Harden getting a lap dance or something like that. But I don't know. It's interesting, man. I think somebody just wanted to capitalize off the.
Oh yeah,
John
for sure.
Morant
The strip club was like, we about to get this bread.
But that's
from
stupid,
what I hear,
though. That hurts.
A lot of NBA players go to that strip club. Like Jalen Rose said he'd been there.
Yeah, I seen somebody was saying
man,
don't
Jalen
ever
Rose
go to
the
this
first one. He's like, hey man, I got this. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on this. I'm gonna prevention. Let's go ahead and
but he might be the perfect person for this.
Yeah, I know. I think he jumped on that role because he'd been in maybe a similar situation.
He also probably wanted to control the narrative in a positive way.
And he jumped on the opportunity. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's probably necessary.
Think it was impactful?
I didn't watch the interview. I mean, I don't want to watch the interview, man. Because it's
I don't care. I really don't.
It's not for me, man. Like it's not the message.
He went to counseling for a weekend. I know people are talking shit. This nigga went to counseling for a weekend, and now he back. Like he's eligible on Monday, I think, to playing games. I don't think he will, but like it's crazy now. Like even the Grizzlies, they saying they're gonna leave cities early. Yeah, no strip club shit. I think they also put metal detectors like in they.
So I saw that.
I don't know if that was just added or it's always been there, but they made it seem like, oh, we just put these shit. Or the jock got a gun, like that's just some bullshit. But
I mean, Gilbert Arenas, he was
Gilbert Arenas is a G, bro.
Gilbert
He
Arenas
really
was
is.
the first.
Love Gilbert Arenas.
G for Gilbert.
No, I think the memes are the funniest though, because they put they automatically put John Morant on above the rim, like above the rim, dude. What like that shit's funny, man.
Yeah, but hopefully.
Oh, I'm sorry. That goes right back to our first conversation about best basketball films. And all right, look, best basketball films. Above the Rim is up there.
Like actual best
dope.
basketball films.
White Man Can't Jump. White Man Can't Jump.
Because it's
Above
like
the Rim.
None of those movies are better than Coach Carter.
Hey, Coach Carter, bro.
But if you're asking me what I would rather watch, yeah, I'd rather watch Above the Rim.
Above the Rim, man.
I'd rather watch The Sixth Man. Like, I would.
Coach Carter's a very
I don't know why you giving me this look, bro. Coach Carter is an amazing. And that's Samuel L. Jackson, bro. That is an amazing movie from start to finish.
Timo Cruz, bro.
No,
Cruz, bro.
I love it.
And they even got
the original.
And the Faith Evans song at the end.
But hold on.
But that's famous. Like when that song come on, you know what to think of, bro.
Coach Carter ain't better than He Got Game, though.
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
No, it's not.
I think so.
And He Got Game. I mean, come on. You got real ballers. You got real ballers actually playing. Like
He Got Game. Oh man, that might be
Allen
mine.
wasn't better than Timo Cruz. What do you mean?
Bro, Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I'm the only Todd Crane.
Travis Best.
I'm the only Todd Crane.
Best.
What you mean? Those are real basketball players
I'm
too.
the only Todd Crane. No,
Whatever.
but like NBA players.
Whatever.
Like
Todd Crane was
I'm going.
a beast.
He Got Game. Yo, we got another. Do we have another debate though? He Got Game versus Coach Carter. And can you think of any other basketball movies that can compete?
Space Jam. I would.
Space Jam crazy.
I would
Damn,
slightly
Space Jam
put.
is one.
I'm
actually about
It's
to
like the
look up
funnest.
Space
It's got to be the funnest one. This is a tough debate, bro. Cause
damn, He Got Game. That is interesting, bro.
Bro, He Got
you
Game.
never thought about that as one of the
I've never
best
thought about
ones?
that. I do like He Got Game a lot.
Love and basketball.
Man. Look, man, I can
Yeah,
I can do without it
I can
as
do
a
without
basketball
loving
movie.
basketball. I know that's crazy.
Like,
a lot of
I
black
love-
people love that movie. I like the movie too, bro. But
Comparative
I love
to,
basketball.
in terms of it being a basketball movie, it doesn't really stack.
Bro,
against-
what are you talking about?
against-
Omar was
against
killing, dog. Crossover with the. Yeah.
Look,
I'm okay.
As a basketball movie, it's not there to stand up against something like Coach Carter.
Hell
As
no.
a movie, it we could talk about that.
Lisa
Yeah,
Sup.
for sure.
Right. But yeah, Jesus Shuttlesworth, bro, he's got to be the most famous made up basketball character.
Coach Carter is not better than White Man Can't Jump. Coach Carter is not better than Above the Rim.
Coach Carter
Coach
is
Carter is
better
not
than,
better than He Got Game.
Bro, Coach Carter is better than Above the Rim. It is better, and it's shot better than Above the Rim, bro. There was a nigga who threw himself a pass.
He threw himself the pass, bro. He threw
I saw that post recently.
Man, that's so
He
funny.
threw himself a pass and dunked that bitch, bro. That shit was
I
so
love
end
when
of the court,
the
bro.
dudes broke it down though, man. That shit was hilarious on that the video.
Yeah.
He just threw himself the pass. Man, that shit was
That shit was
amazing.
hilarious.
Dude.
I do like He Got
Yeah,
Game,
no, like as a
but
pure
so
basketball,
hard.
movie. All right, so if we can kill Above the Rim out of that conversation, but White Man Can't Jump, I'm sorry, man.
I mean, I love
Coach
White
Carter
Man
ain't
Can't
better
Jump.
than White Man Can't Jump.
I really feel like as a
And they remaking that movie. Why are they
Shit gonna
doing
be,
that?
Oh,
With
Jack Harlow, bro. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god.
Stop.
Oh my god.
Stop
That's
the
terrible.
bullshit.
I actually just talked to Kiara about that. I was like, they're
Stop
really
it.
They're
making
really
this
bogus.
movie. She
Who
ain't never
asked
seen
for
it.
that,
She's like,
dog?
what?
Who asked for that,
Jack
bro?
Harlow?
First of all, the dynamic duo of Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson can't be matched.
It's bogus, man.
Yeah.
Because
Why are
it's
they
like,
doing
bogus.
this?
here's the thing, because like, somebody like Jack Harlow would create a good relationship with somebody within the NBA organization, right? And that leads to like, talks or whatever. I don't even understand how he was.
How the
chosen
fuck
for
does
the
that
role.
conversation? How the Jack Harlow, bro?
It's
I'm not shitting on Jack Harlow, but what are we talking
bro,
about?
Not for that movie, man.
No, man. Not
He's
White
just
Man Can't
just
Jump.
gonna be so corny in the movie. Like
It's gonna be
it's
because
gonna
he doesn't
be
have
bad.
like an acting voice. Like
Like those two are legit actors.
they're
Like
like real actors, man.
And they made it seem like they could play decent basketball.
See, now this
They
goes into the
and
whole
even like
standard
the clothing
conversation.
and everything, like
Man,
like
white man can't
the
jump.
way
That's
City
16.
Theme wore his hat, bro.
Oh
like,
yeah.
The muscle tees, like bro, all that shit, like it just looks dope.
And I think that's
this is what I'm talking about with the devaluing of all the standards of everything, bro. Because they're gonna come out with this
Maybe
movie.
they're not making it to be good. Maybe they're just remaking it because they see.
Oh shit! I forgot about Blue Chips. I know y'all ain't seen Blue Chips with Shaq and Nick Nolte.
I've seen that.
I ain't seen that.
The Hank Gather
what about
story.
The air up there.
The air up there. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool story.
Oh,
What about Double Team, bro?
Double Team,
Bro.
Heidi and Heather.
Heidi and Heather, bro. Disney Channel originals.
I don't know what you're talking about. Fuck is that?
With the luck of the Irish, bro.
Do y'all remember the Hank Gather story though? When,
Yeah, Don Cheadle.
No, that's not Don
No,
Cheadle.
no.
Don Cheadle. Hank Gather is the one who died on the court.
Yeah.
He had a heart condition. Died on the court. Scared the fuck
Forgot
out of
about
me.
that.
When we talk about
think I-
anxiety in basketball,
I think I heard about that.
like
We was talking about the GOAT. Earl
Manigault.
Manigault.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was talking about with Don Cheadle played, which was a pretty good movie. That
decent
was scary,
film,
though.
but the basketball quality wasn't great.
What about
Yeah,
Hoop
yeah.
Dreams?
Hoop Dreams is a classic, amazing.
It is.
No question.
It is.
And it's more of a documentary.
It is. Yeah.
Okay,
Arthur Agee.
So Fresh Prince. How do you like the new season?
I love the new show.
It's so amazing.
I love
I think
the
the
new
new
show. I'm not gonna lie.
season is good, man.
I love like what they're doing, man.
I think they're like branching out now. I think the first season was like
All
they're
of
taking
the
exactly. They're
storyline.
taking elements from that, like obviously the show that came out back then,
Biggest moments.
and they're condensing it into one season, which I thought it was good, but I was like, they don't need to do that. And then now I feel like the second season they're going a whole different like direction. I like it.
Jackie is bad, yo. Jackie. You know what I'm talking about?
Who is Jackie?
His new girl.
Oh, okay.
You know, she like Tyra Banks played her back in the show.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Jackie from college.
Oh,
Remember?
I didn't put that together.
Yeah, that's the new
I
girl,
didn't
bro.
put that together.
I knew
Dang.
but okay, that's cool. Then.
Yeah, like she
Wow.
Not
came.
bad.
I really didn't put that together at all. And Tyra Banks was bad back then. I thought she was bad in Fresh
Yeah,
Prince.
they got a nice dynamic though. Like
I don't think she's bad in this one though.
You don't think she bad?
I don't think she's bad.
She nice. Is she bad? Is she nice? What are these adjectives?
All right, we're jumping around. I'm sorry because I just thought about Fresh Prince.
I mean, he's hooping in that too, though. So
he got game.
about to go to AAU
The way they
squad.
shot that first season, that shit was like the basketball scenes. There was one basketball scene that looked really fucking bad, and I'm gonna have to show y'all. I gotta find it and show y'all. But the minute I seen it, I was like, bro, who the fuck edited this? Like, why would y'all do that?
Hey, he was balling in this one though. Like when he went to the court and was doing 1-on-1.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Big slew-footed ass nigga.
Right.
Yeah, what?
Why is he the big man
Really?
on camera? Why is he the best
He
player?
couldn't even move.
All right,
Alright,
I'm still standing by. He got game.
I think, all right, when you say
and White Man
White
Can't
Man
Jump.
Can't Jump, I love that. It's a great film.
I mean,
These
it's the
are
most
tough ones,
watchable
man.
movie out of all.
That's
of
an
those.
intro. We might have to actually make that segment a little bigger on another episode.
I'm with it.
Those
Yeah.
three movies against each other and
What do y'all think? That's the third one. The
Because
third one
honestly
right there.
though, I like rewatchability. Like White Man Can't
It's
Jump has
eas-
it, but
it's easier.
I'd like slightly more rather watch Above the Rim. Like, but I'm not like shitting on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying like which one.
It's the entertainment
Could I watch
value.
more
I'd rather watch
frequently?
White Man Can't Jump than Coach Carter and He Got Game. To be honest, I'd rather watch Above the Rim.
I'd
rather watch
love
The
Above
Sixth
the Rim,
Man.
but I'd
all
rather
them
watch
movies.
Above
White
the
Man
Rim
Can't
and He
Jump.
Got Game for me.
I feel like y'all just shitting on The Sixth Man, bro.
I'm not
I
shitting
love
on the
that
Sixth
movie.
Man, but
Six Man is
Y'all don't
hilarious.
respond when I bring that name up, nigga. I love that movie.
Bro, I
need
love
to say
Six Man,
something.
bro.
say it.
Like what's Michelle? Like the
Gorgeous.
chick. Gorgeous. Oh my god.
That was the girl in
The
the
reporter.
Yeah, the reporter.
Oh, yeah,
Six
yeah,
Man.
yeah.
And when he threw him up against the backboard and he was like, I
Oh
thought that
yeah.
shit was hilarious.
Talking about
Flex
Flat
was in
App,
the movie,
Flex.
man.
Flex, that was Flex.
Bro.
Flat App.
Flex, bro.
Flat App.
Man, he got the most widest range of roles in Hollywood.
Man, played Michael Jackson. My man
Flex.
played
One
Michael Jackson,
of gotta be
and he looked really bad.
one
man.
of the worst decisions. I hope he's doing well. Anyway,
I did like his show though, 1-on-1 with
Yeah.
Kyla Pratt.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
That was
Back in the
definitely
day.
This conversation did take a turn.
All right,
We're
y'all.
All over
back
the place, bro.
Right back to
We all over the
basketball,
place.
to movies.
Yeah, I think we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're gonna shut it down.
I'm cool with that, man.
That's it.
Yeah, we can end it. And then we're gonna
Cool.
have the little graphic come up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you gonna say that in the recording?
Cause y'all can just edit the shit out.
Look, man, y'all
I know,
gotta
I'm
stop
joking.
I
announcing.
gotta edit some stuff out.
You gotta
anyway.
stop announcing conversation switches and things like. Oh yeah, we're gonna wrap it up right here.
We're gonna add this into the ending right here. Us talking about this.
All right, y'all. Next topic.
And we all look at the whiteboard.